Welcome back to New England Ambiance. We are now on part 2 of our trip to London back in 2024, October. This is at Paddington Station. We're about to take the train from London to Bath, England. So just kind of some quick footage of showing the inside of the train station. On this train, we had booked first class going out and then standard class coming back because we wanted to compare the two. Unfortunately, our train was canceled for the day, so we had to wait around in the station for the next train, and they basically combined 2 whole trains onto one train. We got seats, but most people did not. Here's Paddington Bear at Paddington Station. So because we were first class, we got to go in here, the first class lounge, which from what I read, Queen Victoria, this was her private area where she would hang out and wait for trains when she would take them. This part is a little bit dark, I'm sorry about that, but they had very nice couches that you could hang out in and sit in, as well as just around the corner here, a sign about themselves, and this entryway where you can put your bags, and then kind of a more modern waiting area in here if you didn't like the old-timey waiting area. And in here they had the list of what trains left at what time and on what tracks, and different types of sodas and juices, all complimentary, coffees, all that stuff. So it was nice. There was also some bathrooms, free Wi-Fi, free snacks like yogurts and chips and cookies, crackers, fruit, things like that. So it was nice, just like a nicer area to hang out in instead of just like the big area where everyone just kind of standing around waiting for the train. Then there's another waiting area over here, and they also have some bathrooms through there, as well as showers that you can use to if you are needing a shower from your trip. Anyway, so let's get on the train. This is not our train, but we can pretend it is. And here we go on our trip. Then we arrived in Bath, probably about an hour and a half later. This is at the Queensberry Hotel in Bath, up near the Royal Circus and the Royal Crescent. So kind of probably like a mile and a half or so from the train station. This hotel was amazing. It was so amazing. We loved it. One of our favorite hotels. And I've spent most of my life as a hotel manager. So this was just top-notch everything. Loved it. And actually they had just earned a Michelin key like a week before we stayed here. So that was pretty cool. So after we got settled, we walked over this way. Just only about a block away is the Royal Circus. Here, all these buildings form a giant circle around this grassy area with a big tree. There, well, several trees, I guess. Just really neat architecture here. But when you walked around here, and it wasn't just where mansions where people live, but there's also even like dentists and other offices located in these apartments, I guess. And then when you walk around one of the next corners and you go up a bit, you arrive here at the Royal Crescent, which was amazing. I mean, just one giant curved building with, I want to say like 30 or 40 apartments in it. There's also a hotel in the middle part, the Royal Crescent Hotel. And on the far right side, there's also a museum that you can go into. Did not go into the museum, but we did visit while on this trip in Bath. We were in Bath for 2 days. We went here several times just because it is just so amazing. I mean, look at this. It's so cool. I can't imagine anyone building anything like this today. And plus, we had seen this in was it that show McDonald and Dobbs, which we really like. One of the killers for one of the episodes was living in here. Then I walked down to this area down here, and there was a bench near here, and I sat here in the rain and did a drawing of, spent like an hour or so drawing the Royal Crescent. Then at night we got some snacks at the hotel, and we sat in this really cool room, and we had our weird snacks. It was absolutely delicious. And then we walked out again at night and just got some photos of the Royal Circus and then the street where the hotel is. And just Bath in general was very, very scenic and very nice looking. This is outside the hotel. And the next morning, we decided to go for a walk, basically kind of over the same area. This is a little side street with a bunch of shops and restaurants on it that's in between where our hotel is and that's a fun dog there, and where the Royal Crescent is. And so we went back, and it's a lot sunnier today because it had rained the night before and throughout the night, but in the morning it had blown away. And so here we are back at the Royal Crescent, where now it's sunny. And this part here is where the museum and gift shop is. We didn't go into either. We actually really want to go back to Bath. Bath was such a cool city. We only spent 2 days here, and we probably could have spent at least 4. It was just wonderful. And I mean, so this was built in 1767 to 1775. And now we'll get to see it more in the daytime. I know just recently, just a few weeks ago, Robbie Williams had a big concert here on the grassy area. The huge stage set up in the upper grassy area, and tens of thousands of people in the lower grassy area there. I remember seeing from a Rick Steves thing that between the upper and lower areas, there is a small wall down there. You can't really see it from up here, kind of where that grass line is in the middle, called the Ha-Ha, and it's like this 5-foot brick wall that if you're down the lower part, you can't get up into the upper part because the Ha-Ha makes it so you can't get up. But if you're in the upper area, you don't really see it. It just looks like an infinity pool, sort of. This is some kind of near the Royal Crescent. We went for a walk where the botanical gardens are, and that's the Royal Crescent far in the background there. And we just started walking around and exploring the city. And while we were walking, we walked down this trail, which is just below the road that we walked to get to the Crescent, and we found this place by accident, the Georgian Garden, when we were here in early October of 2024. And so most everything was past this prime, and probably really neat to see this place in the summertime, all in bloom. Sorry for the noise. My cat is going in and out using the little cat door here between this room and the other rooms. So he's being kind of loud. But there was still some nice flowers and things to see here in the garden. Then from the garden, we walked down into, because basically where the Royal Crescent is, it's kind of up on a hill, and we walked down into the center of town, and closer to the center of town, we went to the Jane Austen Centre, and we went into the gift shop. We didn't really have time to go through the whole place, but we did want to stop in the gift shop and get some things like magnets. We love fridge magnets. So we did stop here. Wish we could have spent more time. And this is a kind of a public bath you can rent. This is Thermae Spa. Amazing. I wish I had footage from in this place, but you can't show stuff footage from in here, but they have a rooftop pool up there where you can be in like 90-degree, well, it's like 30 degrees Celsius hot water in a giant pool, rooftop pool, and just be looking at the rest of Bath, and it was amazing. This is Bath Abbey. It's almost 1,000 years old. I think it's like 900 years old. It was massive. It's huge. This is our first like cathedral type place that we went to here in England, and it was pretty huge with this fan ceiling. I'm just amazed that way back then they were able to build things like this. And over to the sides and also on the floor, it was just basically tombstones for people kind of built into the walls and onto the floor. And from what I read, that a few hundred years ago, they had a problem where basically the floor was collapsing because they had dug so many tombs and put so many bodies in the church that they had to dig everything up a bit and make it so it was more solid. So make it safer. But also when we were here, there was like a musical choir practice when we came in, and that was wonderful to hear. Did not record that, unfortunately, but it was very impressive. And then we ended up going back here later on at night, but we'll see footage of that in a moment. This is kind of like a little chapel within the cathedral here. I think that's more where like rich or famous people are buried. But they got to have statues of themselves taking naps. Then we went, here's the outside, and then just kind of outside the cathedral, the Bath Abbey, is this nice park. And that bridge was so cool to see. And there was tour boats that would go on the water, not down the little waterfalls, but all around the other areas. And then we walked across the bridge and walked down those steps that are way over there. And now we're on the other side here. So we're kind of across from where we just were. And there's a restaurant kind of behind us there, and very scenic, very neat. This is Sally Lund's, home of the famous Sally Lund buns. We did not have any. We did not go inside. They were pretty busy. We didn't really have time to do it. But then at nighttime, we went to Thermae Bath Spa, and then we went back to the Bath Abbey, and they had this nighttime light and sound show going on. It was pretty cool. It probably lasted about 45 minutes or so, and it was really cool to see. I'm glad we went to it. Glad we got to see it during the daytime when it was normal, and then got to see this more modern art type installation at night. And that is about it for this video. In the next video, we'll be going through the Cotswolds. So please stay tuned for that. That will probably release that in about a week or so. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.